Our final inductee of the night, Julius Thomas, 06 to 10, basketball and football. Made his mark as a basketball player in his first 4 years and then decided to play football. We'll talk about that in a minute. In men's basketball, he was part of a team, the first Viking team to reach the NCAA Division I Tournament. Played in March Madness 2 different times, in 08 and 09. And I remember it like it was yesterday. Dominic Waters penetrating down the lane. Could be a charge, could be a block. Dish it to Julius about 8 feet out in the corner, and he took off like a rocket with a right-hand tomahawk dunk that said, "Goodbye, Montana State." I know you were, hey Murray. But this is Julius that's getting inducted tonight. Career field goal percentage of 66%, more victories than any Viking. He was twice named to the All-Big Sky Conference tournament team. When it was tournament time, he was at his best. He averaged 11 points and 6 rebounds in his career, school record 67% from the field as a senior. Following his basketball career, he decided to give football a try. Coach Barnum said, at first practice, he looked like a deer in headlights. But he was a quick learner. In 2010, I know from the broadcast booth, he really came into prominence at the University of Oregon. The Ducks were pretty good that year, I think. We were a bit overmatched, but those people that were at the game saw that Julius Thomas was not overmatched by the Ducks. For the year, he caught 29 passes for 453 yards, 2 touchdowns, and I personally knew that he was going to be an NFLer when against Montana State. He broke over the middle, caught the pass from Connor Cavanaugh, and he was gone. Said goodbye to those safeties and took it all the way to the house, 55 yards. He was drafted in the 4th round by the Denver Broncos, became an All-Pro, catching 12 touchdown passes in a year. He caught Peyton Manning's 51st season touchdown pass, which was an NFL record. He went on to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and now will be with the Miami Dolphins. This one's a little personal for me. I've got to know Julius's family very well. Him and I, even though there's a big age difference, we spent a lot of time together on the road. And I want to thank personally, Julius, you and your teammates and Coach Geving. For me as a broadcaster, I've loved basketball since I was 6 years old, and to get to broadcast 2 NCAA tournament games, the thrill of my life. So I thank you for that. So Julius, it's my honor and privilege to induct you into the 2016 Portland State Athletic Hall of Fame, All-Pro Julius Thomas.
I got to thank TJ. He gave me a great introduction. So my name is Julius Thomas. I guess everybody's wondering, how did I get here? Like, all these people come up here and we've all talked, and it's really, how did we get to this point? That's why everybody's here. They want to know about us. And I want to start off by saying that, it really didn't have that much to do with me. Like, I've gotten a little bit older and been playing sports for a really long time now, and I'm just very thankful for the people in my life. And I think they asked me to go last because I would be the shortest and quickest. But, I want to really make my speech about everything besides me. So please bear with me. Some of this will be off the top, some of this I wrote, but thank you. The first people I need to thank are my parents. Everything that they've did is so important to my success and to the man that I've become today. So I, of course, have to start off with my mother. I got to thank her for my looks and really putting all that she could into me. One of the most important things my mom ever taught me was you can, you know you can. And at the time, I didn't want to be in the back seat as a 7-year-old saying, I know I can, Mom, again. But she never let me say I can't do anything. And that meant so much to my future because now I'll never let anybody say they can't do anything. So that was probably the biggest lesson that my mom taught me, and I'm so thankful for you teaching me that, Mom. I appreciate it. Those summer workbooks. If you were leaving the 3rd grade and you were going to the 4th, you better finish that 4th grade workbook by the end of the summer. If you want to go outside and play, it doesn't matter. You got to get your 20, 30 pages in. But it was that dedication to making me a well-rounded man that I really appreciated. And one of the last things I want to say about my mom is, she was able to beat me in a race to the car. That really got under my skin for a long time. When you're 12 years old and your mom's out running you to the car, it'll get you. So, Mom, if you want to race after tonight, I would love to race one more time. If you can't, I get it. I understand. And I guess, the second person I have to thank is my father. One of his biggest mantras was mind over matter, son. A lot of times there's going to be things that come up in your life and you think, how am I going to do this? How am I going to find a way through it? And Pop's always said is mind over matter, man. As soon as you understand that what you want supersedes everything you're going through. And it took me a long time to get that, but once I realized it, I said, what can I do? So I have to thank Pops for that. And, my daddy's like a fun guy. Some of you guys know him. Everybody, appreciates being around him. And he used to always tell me, I don't know how you're bored. Like, what do you mean you're bored? Son, only boring people can be bored. And because of that, I was able to make some choice friendships and develop some relationships with people that I'll talk about later. But I just want to say thank you to my parents. I'm a product of the best of them. I have my mother's mind, my father's mindset, my dad's charisma, my mother's demeanor. And I'm really appreciative of them. So I wanted them both to be here tonight because this really is an honor for them, not me. I just followed in their footsteps. I want to thank my friends, everybody else at this table, that isn't my mom or dad. Somehow I managed to survive and graduate alongside you. It wasn't always easy. I had to separate myself from some things, but I love you. There's never been a day where I woke up and I didn't believe that I had the strongest group of people that cared about me, that really wanted to see me have success. I'm the first to say what I didn't get from them, what I didn't get from my parents, I got from them. Some of my greatest skills were borrowed, copied, imitated from them. They might not have always been able to put them all together, but I thank you guys for letting me gain some of that from you. A couple of my friends, maybe it was only one or two things, but Cuddy, I still appreciate you, You do some things very well, and I appreciate that.
You got nice shoes.
Thank you. Sometimes you got to shine on them. I want to thank the university. I can't be more honored to have an opportunity to graduate from college. From a young age, it was my parents' goal for me to go to college, graduate, and to be able to do it is such an amazing accomplishment. It was my goal, is what I worked for, is why I played basketball. So I want to thank everyone at Portland State for welcoming me to this campus as an 18-year-old from Stockton, California. All the coaches, professors, and staff that helped me achieve my degree, as well as this honor. I'm sincerely grateful for all your hard work and belief in me. Thank you, and I hope you all share in, what I've been able to accomplish today. And lastly, I think I have to give God his credit. Couldn't be more thankful as a son of God for all that he's done in my life. In 1988 to 2017, he's been my cut man, my coach, my gloves. I've asked him since I was 8 years old to just take the reins of my life and lead me, and that's what he's done. not in my way all the time, but in His, and that's what it's about. And when He says He answers prayers, it's not just lip service. You know, I remember many a nights where I prayed that I'd be able to make it as a football player. I didn't have great odds, didn't have, a ton of people believing in me, but, I believed that through God I could do it, and He didn't let me down again, and He's continued to be there for me, continues to help me through everything I have to go through. So I want to close and thanking God and thanking all of you, thankful for everyone that loves me, and ask you all to have a good night. Thank you.
Do one alone.